So standing, your arms can relax by your sides. You can have your feet a comfortable distance apart. Just take a couple easy breaths here. You can have your eyes closed if you want. And take a moment, kind of let yourself be in this space. So let everything else kind of go off to the side. You can imagine, if you're on a yoga mat or in a room or something, just imagine that's the boundary. All the stuff that's not related to your yoga practice stays outside that boundary for now. You bring a little attention to your breath. Probably breathing in and out through your nose. And let's let the exhale get a little bit longer than the inhale. So as you're breathing in and out, just kind of consciously slowing your exhale down a bit. If counting is useful for you, you can do the thing where you add one count each time you exhale. Take a few breaths that way, just gradually letting that exhale get a little bit longer. And then with your exhale nice and long, you don't need to continue counting it, but just have the idea that it's going to stay a little bit longer than your inhale. So it has time for the air to go all the way out. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift your arms up from the front so they come up alongside the head, kind of wide. And you'll exhale and lower your hands back down. See if you can use a container breath. So you begin your breath and then the movement, and the breath stretches just past the end of the movement. We'll do one more like this with just the arms. Just kind of cultivating this connection between the breath and movement. The next time we're going to fold forward, so you'll inhale and take your arms up the same way, still using that container breath if you can. And you'll exhale and fold forward over the legs, reaching your fingertips out away from your spine right at the end, and they can drop down toward the floor or your feet. Then you'll inhale here, maybe lifting the spine just a little bit. Think about stretching the spine a little longer. You'll take an exhale here. Then we'll inhale, come all the way up. You'll reach the hands out, extend through the spine, come all the way back up to standing, and exhale, relax your hands down. So if you remember any of the neck stuff from last week, you can incorporate it here. So you inhale, take the hands up, and you just tuck the chin down and in slightly to keep the back of the neck long. And you exhale and fold forward, keeping your neck in that neutral position all the way down. And keeping the neck in a neutral position as you inhale, maybe you feel your body lift slightly. Exhale, folding over the legs, relaxing the lower back. And inhale, come all the way back up. We'll do just two more like this. So staying in that forward fold for one breath each time. And you can have a slight bend in your knees. So last one this way. And we're going to do kind of a miniature sun salutation, just a little one. So you'll need some space behind you. If you're on a yoga mat, you need to step forward toward the front, or if you have furniture behind you, just make sure that you can step 1 foot back like a lunge. So you'll be at the top and you'll inhale and take your hands up the way we just did. You'll exhale and pull forward, just like we did before. And then on that inhale, you're going to have your hands down on the floor or a block if that doesn't reach, or even a chair, and you'll stretch 1 foot way back behind you and place your toes on the floor, so like a lunge. And then you'll exhale and step that foot back to your other foot. And then you'll inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And exhale and lower your hands back down to your side. So that's one side. We'll do the same on the other side, and that'll be our full sun salutation. So you'll inhale, take the hands up. You'll exhale, fold over the legs. Again, hands down either on the floor or a chair, wherever they need to reach. You'll inhale, step 1 foot way back. And then you'll exhale, step that foot forward next to your other one again. And inhale, come all the way back up to standing. And exhale, lower your hands down. So we're going to do 3 more sets. So 3 more on both sides. So go at your own pace. If you can, keep your exhale just a little bit slower than your inhale, then do that. And then if you can do that container breath, use that too. That really helps hold your attention here. Everyone will kind of go their own pace. So every time you inhale, the idea is you're creating a lot of space across the front of the body. And when you step that foot back, you want to step it far enough back that there's some space across the front of the hip. And every exhale is your body kind of squeezing close together. So you can let that breath start and then kind of feel that it's pulling your leg in or letting the arms come in close. It's kind of drawing everything toward the center. Thank you. One more set here. So finishing the set you're on, and then one more. If you just started, this is probably your last one. As you finish with your last set, you can stand, you can have your eyes closed. Just kind of staying linked with your breath. When you're ready, we're going to bring the feet wide. And we're going to turn the toes to the left. Your left toes to the left, and your right toes kind of angle in a little bit. We're going to do a triangle pose. We'll start small and get a little bit deeper as we go. So first, you're going to inhale and take the arms out about shoulder height, palms face forward, and you'll exhale and lean to the side. Doesn't matter how far you go, just let it be kind of controlled and steady. You'll inhale back up and exhale, lower down. Do that again. You'll inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, lean to the side. Keep weight in your right foot, the one you're leaning away from. Inhale back up and exhale, lower down. So before we go on the next one, I want you to imagine a wall behind you that your heels are against, your bottom is against, and your shoulders are against. So everything's kind of in line. And you're going to inhale and take your arms up and keep your body kind of in that straight line as you exhale and lean to the side so that you're not letting your body rotate at all. You'll inhale back up and exhale. The next time you might go a little bit further, you'll inhale, take the arms up, exhale, keeping your body in that line so it's not rotating or falling forward or back. Inhale back up, exhale. All right, one more thing we're going to add. You'll inhale, take the arms up, exhale, lean to the side. If your neck feels fantastic today, you can look up toward that top hand and maybe stretch it across. Get a little bit more opening through the side. On your next inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower the hands down. So we're going to stay a few breaths next time. You'll take your arms up as you breathe in. Exhale, lean to the side. Maybe looking up, maybe stretching your arm across. Only if your neck feels 100%. Take a few breaths here. This bottom arm doesn't have very much weight on it. It's really there more for balance than support. On your next inhale, come all the way back up. And we'll lower the hands down and let's switch sides. So you'll turn your feet the other way. Your right toes turn to the right, left toes angle in slightly. And we'll do the same sequence on the other side. You can imagine that wall behind you. On your inhale, you'll lift your arms. Exhale, lean to the side some amount. Doesn't have to be far when you're starting out. You'll inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower the hands down. Good, so kind of focusing on your breath. You know the movement now pretty well. As you feel your breath flowing, notice if it gets like tight or tense when you lean over to the side and come back up. So you're going to move in a way that lets your breath flow freely and relatively smoothly. All right, next time, if you want, you can take the arm up overhead. Maybe taking the left arm over, looking up toward that left hand. We'll do one more. We're going to stay for a few breaths on the next one. Each time you breathe in, you can feel this whole left side of the body expanding. Take one more breath in and out here. And on your inhale, you'll come all the way back up. And exhale, lower the hands down. Let's bring the feet back together. Gonna do a little chair pose. Arms are optional, so you can either do the relaxing one where you exhale and bend the elbows and sit back, and you'll inhale, come up. Or if you feel like you need a little bit more movement for the upper body, you'll inhale and take the arms up. Exhale, keep the arms lifted till right at the end as you sit down. Then you'll inhale, lift the arms, push into the feet, come all the way up. And exhale, lower the hands down. And we'll do 3 or 4 more, just with your own breath. Every inhale, the body's extending. As you exhale, sitting back into that chair pose. You can either just sit back with almost like you're in a chair, where your upper legs are parallel to the floor, or if it's okay for your knees today, you can go a little bit lower. When you come back up, you're really pushing into the feet. Do one more. So we're going to come into tree pose. Before we do, I want you to close your eyes and feel your feet on the floor. See if you can feel each toe on the floor. The ball of the foot, the heel. Maybe you can feel the inner arch of the foot lifting up away from the floor. Now bring a lot of awareness to how your feet are pushing down. See if you can spread your toes wide. And you're going to push down kind of into the corners of the feet, so the inside and outside of the ball of the foot and the inside of the outside of the heel of the foot. You can really feel like your foot is grabbing the floor. So keep that in your right foot. We'll do the left side first. Your right foot is really grabbing the floor here. And you're going to exhale and lift your left knee and turn your left knee out to the side and put your left foot somewhere on the inside of your right leg. So now you're pushing your right foot down into the floor and pushing your left foot into your right leg, kind of squeezing the foot and leg toward the center. Your hands you could bring together if you like in front of the heart. You could lift them up overhead. If stability is tricky for you, hands at the hips can really add to stability here. I forgot to tell you, you could open your eyes. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and open your eyes and find a spot that won't move to look at. I'm going to take about 4 breaths in tree pose. So see if you can keep that nice slow exhale and a soft, steady gaze. Just fixing your eyes on one point as your feet press toward the floor, toward the leg. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, you can lower your arms, bring your leg toward the center, and come back to standing. So we're going to set up with the feet before we come into it. This time your left toes are going to spread really wide. You're going to push down to the 4 corners of the left foot, the inner and outer ball of the foot, inner and outer heel. So it's really grabbing onto the floor. Then on an exhale, you'll lift your right leg, turn your right knee out to the side and bring your right foot to the inner left leg. And now your right foot is going to kind of grab onto your leg. You're squeezing your foot and your leg toward the center. Your hands could be at your hips for more balance, together at the chest, or you could lift your hands up. We're going to stay for 4 or 5 breaths. Still keeping that exhale smooth and slow. Your shoulders feel relaxed. Your face is relaxed. Take one more breath in here. And then on your exhale, you'll lower your arms and you'll bring your leg toward the center and your foot to the floor. Let's come down to hands and knees. And you'll inhale at hands and knees and exhale to child's pose. We'll do that a couple more times. Let your inhale carry you up. And your exhale pulls the hips back. I'm going to give you guys a couple of different options for this pose. So you're still going to inhale the hands and knees. Option number one is to make this more of a side stretch. As you exhale and your hips come back, you're going to let one hand draw back towards your knees. So one hand is extended and the opposite hand comes back kind of toward your head or knees. And then you'll inhale and come back up. And exhale and do the other side. And inhale back up. And after you do each side, you'll keep both hands at the top. And exhale, hips come back toward the heels. So you get lengthening on both sides. So that's option number one. Option number two is to alternate child's pose and downward dog. So every other exhale, you'll curl the toes under and press your hips up and back to downward dog. And then you'll inhale, come to hands and knees. And exhale to child's pose. Both are really nice. Downward dog is going to be a little bit more work for your wrists and shoulders. So you're either alternating downward dog and child's pose, or you're exhaling and sliding one hand back as you come to child's pose and then doing the other side. We'll do a couple more sets. If you're coming into downward dog, you can stay there for a full breath next time. 2 breaths if it feels good. If you're doing the little subtle side stretch, you can stay there for 1 breath. We'll make this the last set. So next time you come back into child's pose, maybe stay there for 2 or 3 breaths. And eventually you'll lie down on your back. And you can have your knees bent if you want, or your legs flat on the floor. Then you can close your eyes and just rest for a bit. There's no need to make your breath any particular kind of breath. Just let it flow freely. And let your body totally relax, maybe starting at the top of your head, gradually working your way down. All the way down your shoulders and arms and fingers, down your chest, abdomen, hips, all the way down to the toes. keeping this sort of relaxed feeling. If your knees are not bent, go ahead and bring your feet to the floor and bend your knees. Let your feet be about hip width apart. Your arms can come out to the sides a bit. And on your exhale, let both knees go to the left side. And stay there and breathe in. And on your next exhale, come back up to the center. Stay there and breathe in. Then you'll exhale and both knees go to the right. Stay there and breathe in. And exhale back up to the middle. And take a breath in there. And you'll continue this pattern a few more times on each side. Each time you breathe in, let your body be completely at rest. And let your exhale be nice and steady and slow as you gradually move. Let this set be your last. So the set you're on is your last one. And when you finish this one, you'll just come back to the middle and stay there for a breath or two. So we are going to have the left knee bent, the foot on the floor, and you'll stretch your right leg out long. And I think we'll have the arms down by the sides of the body for this. I'm going to give you a couple different options for the left leg so you can keep your knee like this, or if it feels okay for your hip, you can turn your knee out to the side so that you're kind of rolled onto the outside of the foot. But if that doesn't feel good for your hip, just bring your knee back up. So we're going to be moving the arms and the right leg. On your inhale, you'll lift your arms up overhead so they come to the floor alongside your head, but out to the side quite a bit, like a V shape. And then as you exhale, you'll bring your arms down and bring your right leg straight up through the air. Then you'll inhale and your right leg goes back down, your arms go up. And exhale, arms come down, right leg comes straight up. If having the leg straight feels like too much for your back, you can also have the right knee bent and you're just then bringing your knee toward your chest and lifting the foot off the floor as you exhale. Both are going to be really good for the belly and the hip and the back. Having the leg straight just gives you a little bit more lengthening for the back of the right leg, which will be useful for our next pose. So we'll do a couple more here on this side and then we'll switch sides. after this one, you're going to lower your hands down, bend your right knee, bring your foot to the floor, lift your left knee up. If it was out to the side, just take a breath, resting. Then you'll do the same thing on the other side. So if your knee was out to the side, you'll take your right knee out this time. If your leg was straight, now your left leg is going to be straight. On your inhale, you'll take your arms up overhead. And exhale and lift your left leg as you lower your arms down by your sides. Inhale, your arms go back up, your leg goes to the floor. And exhale, bring your arms back down, lift that left leg up. Again, you can have the left knee bent if having the leg straight feels like too much on your back. Check in with your breath. If you can use that container breath here, it can be really useful. We'll do this one and one more. Check in with your neck as well. Make sure your neck isn't trying to do all the movement for you. And after this one, you're going to let your hands come back down by your side. Bend your left knee, bring your foot to the floor, and bring your right knee up. And just rest for a moment. You'll come to seated when you're ready. And we're going to do a similar movement, but this time we're sitting up. You might like to sit on a blanket to elevate the hips slightly, especially if it was hard to lift your leg up through the air while it was straight. I would recommend elevating the hips. I like to put something under my right knee because I have a little bit of an old injury on my right knee. So you can support that right knee as well. So here the left leg is straight or close to it, might have a little bend in it. And the right knee is bent out to the side. And the right foot is alongside your left leg. This is kind of like a seated tree pose here. When you're ready, you're going to inhale and take your arms up nice and tall through the spine. And exhale, fold forward over that right leg. Any amount is fine. Your hands can come down next to the leg or on the floor. On your inhale, you'll come back up. And exhale, fold forward. We'll go again. You'll inhale, lift up. So as you exhale, the hinge comes here at the hip, not at the back. So your back is going to stay nice and tall. You'll inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower the hands. Again, you'll inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, keep the back nice and straight as you fold forward. Then you'll relax the hands down when you get to the end of that range of motion. And inhale, come back up. And relax your hands down. We'll stay for a few breaths next time. So going at your own pace. The next time you'll fold forward and you'll be staying there for 3 or 4 breaths. Continue to let your breath be slow and steady. One or two more breaths here on this side. When you're finished with this side, you'll inhale, lift your arms, extend your spine, come all the way back up. And relax your hands. We're going to switch sides. So now your right leg is straight and your left knee goes out to the side with your left foot alongside your right leg. When you feel situated, on your inhale, you'll take your hands up nice and tall through the spine and keep all that length in the spine as you fold forward and bring your hands down. And you'll inhale, take the arms up, come all the way back up, and exhale, relax your hands. Do that a couple more times, just with your own breath. So with poses like this, it can be really useful to think about creating movement more than a sensation of stretching. So you want to feel the movement happening in the muscles of the legs and spine and hip. Not just a really big stretch. The next time you come forward into the fold, go ahead and stay there for 3 or 4 breaths. Keeping the back, nice and tall, even if that means you're not folded as far forward. Your face and shoulders are relaxed. After 3 or 4 breaths in your own time, you'll come back up. And your inhale begin and lift you all the way back up. And you relax your hands down as you exhale. And your choice of counter pose, you can either stay seated and bend your knees and just exhale and kind of slide down over your legs and inhale back up. Or if you like, come to hands and knees and go back to child's pose. That might feel more effective for you. We'll just go a couple times more. And then you'll either sit in a comfortable position, or you can lie down if you prefer. And you'll close your eyes. And just take a moment to feel how you feel. Notice your breath. Notice the quality of energy in your body. Notice the clarity of your thoughts. If you would like to close your practice with a breathing routine, it would be really nice to do an equal inhale and exhale. So we've been lengthening that exhale the whole class. You might be able to exhale for 6 or 8 counts pretty easily, and you can stay with that. And then you're going to gradually bring your inhale to the same length. That would be a nice way to end the class. So maybe inhaling 6 counts, exhaling 6 counts, and do that for a few minutes. And then take some time just to be present. Thank you all for coming today. Namaste.